Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Saturday the 11th of February. Well, let's try and have a change of look. So let's try something a bit different. If you could give this video a very early like, that'd be fantastic. So like for luck, and now let me get straight into it. So it's really awkward explaining these bets because of how Sky Bet put them out. So you have to bear with me. I will do my best to explain them. So the first bet is a 10 pence each way Canadian. These are horses I really like the look at, and they are each way prices. So it's a 10 pence each way Canadian, and there are other multiple bets with these selections. So the first selection is Home Sweet Highway in the 1 o'clock at Utoxeter. Leave the price. The second selection is Lady Ironside. Leave the price again. I do think it'll drift, but it's a big price already. In the 135 at Utoxeter. In the 150, paying 4 places instead of 3, I've gone for Annual Invictus. I think this horse could make all. There's a lot of doubtful stayers, and I think this former chaser, now hurdler, could run a very good race. And Freddie Gordon, riding for, I believe it is dad, has got an excellent strike rate recently for his dad. So he had a winner today as well, or I think the combination did, but I know Freddie Gordon definitely had a winner as well. The fourth selection is Guatapan Collonge in the 245 at Utoxeter, paying 4 places instead of 3. Ran a crack last time in, I think it was called the Warwick National. Dropping back in distance. McManus loves a winner at Utoxeter, and I think it's got a cracking chance anyway, even on form. The fifth selection is Icare Allen. I've taken the price on this one because it's Willie Mullins, and I do think it will shorten in price. I could be made to look stupid. It wouldn't be the first time, to be honest. Could drift massively, but I do think 17-2. I'm quite happy with that price, to be honest. 8.5 to 1. And that's in the 335 at Newbury, the Betfair Hurdle, paying 6 places instead of 4. But don't put that bet on yet, because you also need to do this stake as well. So it's a 10 pence each way Canadian, 40 pence each way, like accumulator, fivefold, and 10 pence each way double. So that comes to £2, 5.20, so that's 7.20, £8 in total. Those are my most fancied horses for Saturday. What I would suggest is try and put all the bets on. I do believe they come to £30. If you put every single bet on and the horses don't do anything, but the over 2.5 bet goals comes up, you win, I think it's £12 on the day. That's if you follow me blindly. Just completely put the bet on. If you don't normally put that on, and you don't put, let's say, £15 on, split every single stake by half. You may find it difficult on a few where the 5 pence each way stakes, because sometimes it doesn't let you put any less than 5p. So let's get into the next bets. So the next bet is a 40 pence each way Trixie and a 40 pence each way treble. That comes to £4. Well, I really liked the look of 2 of these horses. Well, in fact, all 3 of them, but one of them has got a bad draw, and I was a bit concerned about it. So it's a 40 pence each way Trixie, 40 pence each way treble. The trainer actually trains all three of these horses, and the first 2 I picked, basically on form and because I fancied them. And then the third one jumped out at me because I liked the form on that one, but it had a bad draw. They're all trained by a trainer called Jack Jones. Well, if anybody knows about a trainer called Jack Jones, I don't know much about him. But yeah, he hasn't had that many winners. And I think if he had a treble up tomorrow, it would probably... I think he's only had 1 winner all season. I could be wrong. So it does look as though it's clutching at straws a bit. But let's get into it. So Chagall, I've left the price in the 158 at Lingfield, paying 4 places instead of 3. Yeah. Ariel at SP in the 18 minutes past 4 race at Lingfield, paying 4 places instead of 3. And finally, Navy Drums. This is the one with a bad draw, but if you can get to the front and have an easy lead, it's drawn 12. But if you can get straight to the front, it's got every chance. It's a poor race, to be honest. So Navy Drums in the 450 at Lingfield, paying 4 places instead of 3. And as I said, 40 pence each way Trixie, 40 pence each way trebles. Basically, a Trixie is each way doubles and each way trebles, no singles. So let's get into the football bet. So I'm going to talk you through this. So as you're aware, I have a football bet on a Saturday. Basically, it's an over 2.5 goals treble, over 3.5 goals treble, and an over 4.5 goals treble. So it's a £6 over 2.5 goals treble. Basically, you want loads of goals. Well, you want ideally minimum of 3 in a match. But yeah, it's a £6 over 2.5 goals treble, and the matches are Arsenal and Brentford match, Mansfield and Gillingham match, and Cardiff and Middlesbrough match. And then also I've got a £2.75 over 3.5 goals bet. Same matches: Arsenal versus Brentford, Mansfield versus Gillingham, and Cardiff versus Middlesbrough. And finally, a £1.25 over 4.5 goals bet. Arsenal versus Brentford, Mansfield versus Gillingham, and Cardiff versus Middlesbrough. To any new subscribers or people watching the video for the first time, we are recently, apart from the last 3 weeks, we've had quite a decent return on these bets. So anybody putting this on for the first time, it's not an unrealistic bet. It's basically you want carnage in the match. You just want goals, goals, goals. So yeah, so those are that's the football bet. And finally, I've gone for a bet further down on the horse racing. Right, just give me 1 second. 9. So I've got a 10 pence each way lucky 31, and also 9 pence each way doubles. There may be another bet included in this one as well, but it's on the other page. I can't remember when I put it on. But basically, these are big prices, very, very decent prices, and also horses that I think could drift as well. So in the 313 at Warwick, I've gone for Let Me Tell You Something. I'm leaving all the prices. The second selection is Nickelback in the 320 at Uttoxeter, paying 4 places instead of 3. The third selection is Your Cash in the 355 at Uttoxeter, paying 4 places instead of 3. The next selection is the 443 at Newbury, and I've gone for Brave Jen. And then finally, I've gone for Industrialist in the 455 at Warwick. And as I said, this is a 10 pence each way lucky 31, 9 pence each way doubles, and just give me a second. Yep, and that's an anti-post bet that isn't going to come up. So that's all the bets. It totals £30, or I think £30 and 1p. I think I got the final 1p out my account. So as I said, it's basically £30 on. If the football over 2.5 goals treble comes up, I think we'll make £12 profit on the day. I think it returns £42. So if you can, if you don't normally put £30 on, split your stakes, but try and put every single bet on that I've put on. So it might mean, well, yeah, rewinding the video, or do you still rewind videos? Go back to the beginning of the video, pause it, do what you want, but try and put all the bets on if you can, but lower the stakes like equally, if you know what I mean. So anyway, so the very best of luck. If you're still knocking around now, we're on 9 minutes 10. So give me a like, a subscribe, or a comment, and the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.